Okay, as promised, I'm here with a very special upload. This could be the one that my life depends on, could be the one that all our lives depend on, in a sense, but we'll get to that. Just want to say I've obviously uploaded several videos yesterday. That was September 10th, and 2014, and you know, when I come to uploading them, always the ego kicks in again, like, oh, you know, are these videos good enough? Did I express myself clearly enough? Did I make the key points that I wanted to make? I just feel with so much doubt, you know, so much confusion. Am I going to come across as a charlatan? Am I going to look like an idiot? You know, is this whole thing of doing YouTube videos and uploading for people to see, is it idiotic in itself? Is it egotistical in itself? Is it, you know, just, I mean, who gives a fuck what I think, right? Who cares? Why should anybody care what I think? But I continue to do it, and I'm out here today to make another video for the simple reason that it doesn't really matter what you think of me. It doesn't matter how I come across. These things are not important. The only thing that is important is the words that I'm saying. Even more so than that, the words that I say are not important, but the truth within them is the important thing, and that's up to you to find that truth, you know. The truth is absolutely a subjective thing, and there may be some kind of objective truth, I think, in the universe, but it's imperceivable to us. I mean, at least within the language, within the terminology that we're able to communicate with. I think any form of objective truth is imperceivable. So you need to delineate your own truth within the information that you receive, and that's a good way to live your life, I think. So I'm trying to, you know, express what I perceive as the truth, and I hope within that you can find some truth of your own, because we don't get enough of it in modern society. Anyway, as I was saying, I was uploading these videos last night, and I tried to get some viewers. So I thought, how can I do this? And I went on a couple of people's pages. The guy called Social Experimentalist, you might know him, Danny Shine, makes good videos, you know, a bit more of a comedic, entertaining element than what I'm doing, I think. I don't think he's experiencing the inner turmoil that I'm experiencing. I believe he's a family man, you know, wife and children, so you know, he's probably quite satisfied with his life, but he still feels the need to try and spread a little bit of truth around there, which is very admirable. I didn't put anything on Russell Brand's page because it's just going to get swallowed up among the comments. You know, certainly, I mean, how many people post links, hey, watch my page on there? So I haven't gone down that road yet, although I might do. I don't know, you know, if someone did actually link through his page, I wouldn't really want that many people to see me speaking like this yet at this stage. I don't know, it's ridiculous. Why not? If I make these videos, why don't I want the world to see it? You know, obviously I'm in some kind of great confusion about this, but obviously something is pulling me towards doing it, you know, even though the things I'm going to say today particularly really make me fear for my own safety to put them out there in a public forum, you know, and that will sound ridiculous to some of you, but when I say them, you might get what I'm talking about a bit. Yeah, and I also put some stuff on their girl Hannah Rose's page. She's made some interesting videos. She's made one about God, saying kind of the same thing that I said about God, but I don't know, she just seems a bit angry and frightening to me. She's quite hot though, quite attractive. But anyway, yeah, so I hope some people watch these videos, and you know, we can together distill the truth from the chaos within the universe. That would be really cool, you know. Yeah, but for now, anyway, so this one today, I was talking a little bit yesterday about how I don't really believe the way that the media manipulate us in terms of like fear mongering about terrorism and with groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda, who I don't believe really exist in the sense that we're supposed to believe that they exist. If they exist at all, they've been created after the fact by, you know, covert CIA operations or something like that. You know, of course, how could I ever prove this? But, you know, we've just fed so much rubbish, and one of the biggest piles of bullshit that we've ever been fed, which has had such massive implications to the way we're living today, you know, has been the basis for so many like changes in governmental policy, and like it's justified so many wars and things like that, and it's led to so many more deaths, you know. Obviously was an event that happened in New York City about 13 years ago today, exactly 13 years ago today, I believe. You'll all be familiar with the attack on the World Trade Center, and probably a lot of you, if you're even bothering to watch this video by now, still at this point, you probably are more or less on the same page as me, in that this was an inside job, so to speak, a false flag attack. And I just don't understand how anybody could not be of that opinion now. There is so much evidence to support this. It's just incredible. And all you need to do really is watch you know, numerous videos on YouTube. They're all out there, and you know, debunking the official tale. It's just really something quite outstanding. I'm just going to highlight a few of the key points, you know, because this was like a really important moment in my life when I realised this, because if the government will do this, and it doesn't matter which government, USA, UK, they're all affiliated, you know. When you get to that level, there are no nations, you know, there's no race, there's no religion, it's just us and them, you know. They are the ruling class, they are the 1%, and they manipulate everything around us, possibly in ways that we couldn't even begin to understand, again, on our current level of operation, you know, the way that we function physically and mentally is, you know, not even close to what we are capable of, and probably there's people in the ruling classes that are capable of higher levels of function, but again, that's another story. In terms of the way that they manipulate us as a group, you know, as the 99%, as we're kept under control, it's through events like this in the media, you know, events that get people to support illegal wars, basically, and to justify, you know, mass murder of so many innocents, essentially just so that this ruling class can collect more and more land around the world, take control of more resources and things like that. You know, I don't need to explain this now because you're all quite well aware of these theories, but I'm just going to say that, as I said before, whatever you think of me, all you need to look at is the truth within my words. And whatever you think of, you know, conspiracy theorists and, you know, anti-patriots and whatever you think of people, you just need to look at the truth within the events, and you need to see that buildings can only collapse in that fashion via controlled demolition. Yeah, if they receive trauma to the top of the building, which they did, which we saw the airplanes, and a lot of people say there were no planes. I don't think it's even worth entering into that kind of theory because it's simply not provable, but we can say that they received a trauma which we will accept as being airplane attacks in the top kind of quarter of the building, the top third of the building, and the building collapsed from head to toe, you know, in approximately 6 seconds, I think, between 6 and 9 seconds or something like that. They fell at free fall speed in a manner which can only occur via the path of least resistance. That means that the supports had to be removed from below before that building collapsed. It's the only physical way that a building can fall in that manner, is if the supports are removed from below, which means that the supports were blown out and the building came down on top of it, which is how they do it in a controlled demolition, which is how it was done on September the 11th, 2001. And if you can't accept that fact, you're really lying to yourself, and I don't know why. I don't know why you're so attached to that idea. You know, I believed it myself at the time. You see it on the news, you just believe what you're told, don't you? You've got no choice really but to believe that, you know. But there's so much evidence out there now, you know. You can look at the stock market movements in the days around September 11th. Lots of companies involved, you know, be it companies that were inside the building, or, you know, airline companies and things like that, you know, has showed extremely abnormal stock market movement in the days before the attacks. You know, you can look at again the fact that the official story says fire damage brought the buildings down. Well, no high-rise building like that has ever fallen due to fire damage in history, and then suddenly on this day 2 go at once, you know, within hours of each other. You know, with fires that, you know, we've seen other buildings around the world burn for days and not fall, and these buildings burn for a couple of hours. More to the point, it wasn't only 2 buildings, was it? There was Tower 7, which was not hit by a plane, which, you know, a lot of people didn't even know about until the conspiracy theorists brought their attention to it. You know, there's so much evidence, you know, and I want to talk about the conspiracy theorists, right? The people that really brought all this information to my attention were the architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth, headed by a man called Richard Gage, and they're professional architects, you know. There's a group of over 1,000 professional architects basically explaining what I have just explained, that the only physical way these buildings could collapse in this manner, 3 of them in a day, the first 3 in history, is through controlled demolition, you know. Then you've got the video of Larry Silverstein saying, yeah, we decided to pull the building 7, you know, because obviously at the time he felt that it was appropriate to explain why the building collapsed despite it had no fire damage. Of course now the official line says the building 7 wasn't pulled, it wasn't controlled demolition, and of course, you know, it's quite hard to find any information on it, as it's not featured in the official report whatsoever, which again is incredibly strange. The official inquiry, you know, doesn't even mention that, and I think there's even like buildings 5 and 6 also collapsed, but again, we don't know anything, or they're blown out from the inside. I've seen a photograph of building 5, it seems to be hollowed out from the inside, so some kind of explosion in there. Yeah, and obviously this is, you know, this theory is commensurate with reports at the scene from firemen that described explosions going off in the basement. Janitors, yeah, a guy called William Rodriguez has been quite vocal. I don't know where he is now, probably in hiding, fear for his life. That's pure speculation. But you know, this is why I'm frightened of putting up videos like this and spreading my ideology, because they'll do that to 3,000 people at one time, and they'll show it on the television, and we'll all go along with it. You know, they've done it to presidents. You know, we all know that. We all know about JFK. You know, there's been, you know, so many incidents of this nature. The Gulf of Tonkin that the Vietnam War was predicated on, where a ship was supposedly sunk but it never happened, you know. This is all common knowledge. So, you know, if you don't believe that your government manipulate you in this way and control major events in this way, then you've just got to wake up and smell the coffee, you know. You've really got to open your eyes and see what's happening, because the evidence is so clear. So anyway, look at some of these YouTube videos, because there's loads of them. Some of them are rubbish, some of them are excellent. Among that, you will find your own truth, you know. You don't have to believe everything they say, you don't have to believe what I say, but just open your eyes and look, and ye shall see the truth, my friends. Yeah, just another point I was going to say. So conspiracy theorists, nutcase, you might think I'm mad. I'm not sure myself whether I'm mad or not, to be honest with you, but I can tell you that people like Richard Gage, head of the architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth, it doesn't seem mad to me, and this is where these theories come from. This does not come from the Tin Hat Brigade, this comes from architects, this comes from families of the victims, yeah, this comes from firemen that were there at the scene. They started these theories, but you don't know about any of this because you won't see it on the television, because mainstream media is not allowed to report it, because mainstream media is owned by the same people who engineered this. Okay, right, that's my 15 minutes up, guys. That's really what I wanted to say. It was very important that I said that. I hope I'm still around to share more information with you in the future. So take care of yourselves. This is Mike Cunt, delusionist, hypocrite, addict, whatever. See you later.